think we're rolling. My name's Laura. I'm kind of new to this side of things anyway. My career is presenting, but I've never done anything like this before. I've started up a brand new YouTube channel, and reason being is I put a post on my Facebook about 6 months ago, and I got quite a lot of interest. I didn't think that I would, just because I basically shared my story. So what I thought I would do is I wanted to share my pregnancy story. I should probably go back and tell you a little bit about this. So I'm 30 weeks pregnant at the moment. It looks quite a little bump at the moment, but it's not. It feels a lot bigger than it is. But yeah, I'm 30 weeks pregnant. And I thought, I've kind of been having these conversations with a lot of my pregnant friends or friends that have had babies, and a lot of people kind of coming up with the same thing of like questions that I feel a bit too taboo to ask people. So I just wanted to like open up this kind of forum with loads of videos to just discuss things like that and things going forward that people wouldn't necessarily discuss about their pregnancy journey. So I'm using these videos to be kind of frank and open and honest, and as you can see, there's no, like, it's literally me with my iPad at home. There's no kind of frills about it, there's no excitement about it, there's no like hair and makeup and lighting and everything like that. So I just wanted to be, just really open and honest with you, essentially. Got my little prompt sheet here, look, I'm trying to be organised now. So basically my pregnancy journey, starting off with sort of my introduction, myself and my partner have been trying to get pregnant. We probably started when I was about 36, because they say, don't they, in your 20s you're trying to avoid getting pregnant at all costs, and then in your 30s it's like you're trying everything to get pregnant. And I know a lot of people find it really hard, and I haven't talked to people before about, you know, it just happening. You kind of think, oh, you take it for granted, you know. You go to your doctor and kind of have these checkups and say to them, look, I've never been pregnant before, I'm a bit worried about it. And they say, oh, don't worry until you start trying. But then it's difficult because it's kind of like, well, is that too late a period to start trying? You might not meet that person, the right person, until later on in life, as I didn't. But yeah, myself and my partner have been trying for a baby for probably about 18 months, something like that. And at that point, we decided to go to, first of all, I went to my doctor, and then I've got some, I stress, private medical care, so they referred me to that. Now, this is where kind of my journey changed, because in sort of June-ish last year, obviously, as I'm sure loads of people would be that are going through this, I was so unbelievably nervous and worried and not sure what was happening. So I just wanted some answers. So I went to my private medical care to get some sort of diagnostics done. And this is another thing I really want to share with you as well, is exactly what I had done. So I've got my letters here. So I had a number of procedures between sort of June, July, I think it was last year. Now the first thing is like an ultrasound, essentially. It's called a US pelvis transvaginal. I know, glamorous, right? So that's number one. That's kind of the first thing I had done. Then I had something called a hysteroscopy, which I think, if I remember rightly, is kind of where they, and there's no plain way to say this, is like insert a camera up you and then kind of have a look around to see if you're okay. That's essentially it. Now the third one that I had done, and I'm going to come back to this, is called, I hope I pronounced this right, hysterosalpingogram. Really weird name, I know. But that's a really, really important one to remember, that one that I've just said. Now, when I had that done, I had it done, and a few people had said to me, look, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually got pregnant after this. Now, park that to one side. Then I had my review with the surgeon who's kind of in charge of it all, and he diagnosed me with unexplained infertility. Now, I don't know if you've had those words said to you, but it is a lot. It's a lot emotionally to like take on, for somebody to just tell you yeah, you can't naturally conceive children. And I get it, because people are kind of dishing this information out. They must have loads of patients per day, and they can't be, you know, crying over every patient they give this to. But understandably, I was just like, what do you mean? You know, what is there now? What do I do now? And I kind of got told, well, you know, now there's nothing left but to go for sort of IVF, essentially. That's your next step. I was like, okay, fine. So then I went off and I was kind of researching IVF, and I also went and got referred to the NHS. So at that point in time, I was doing a little bit of private research, but I went to the NHS and I went to my appointment there. And when I went to my appointment there, I know lots of areas have just kind of different criteria. Where I am, my partner was asked, do you have any children? And he said, yes, I do, from a previous relationship. He's 8.5 years old now, his son. And we then got told, well, because he's got a son from a previous relationship, you're not entitled to IVF. Which, again, was just so cutthroat, I think, because, you know, that's not my child. As much as I love him and think he's amazing, there's something sort of different there. You know, there's a real need sometimes for me anyway, was to find out, well, can I sort of have children naturally as well, you know? And I totally respect people that don't want to have children, people that adopt, completely understand those routes as well, but I still wanted to see if I could sort of conceive naturally. And was just told, yeah, because my partner had a son from a previous relationship, then that was it. It was the end of the road for me. So I kind of got told there was no help left. And then that was around July time last year, and then that left me, well, what do I do? Like so many couples, researching IVF, you know, yeah, you can get sort of cheaper rounds, you can get it done abroad, but the rates generally aren't as good as somewhere you pay sort of £10,000 around for. I mean, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? Kind of quality over quantity, but it's difficult because when you're older, the odds go down. So each round is really expensive, and I was kind of like facing the decision, really. Do I kind of bankrupt myself, because it might take 3 rounds, it might take 4, 5, it might never happen. You know, people have remortgaged their houses just trying to afford IVF. So I'm like, right, I don't have that money. Do I take out a loan and get more in debt just because I want to still try for children, or do I completely give up on the idea? So in the meantime, I was trying pretty much every alternative therapy you could think of. I mean, I even got gifted, I love crystals, by the way, I even got gifted, like, this is a little moonstone, and it's meant to be female, it's meant to be for fertility, etc. I even got gifted that. And I was just like, you know, what do I do? And essentially, during this period, I kind of, like most people do, let loose and like went out, you know, tried to take my mind off it. Was going down the pub one night to have like a few drinks, because I just thought, well, I don't know, I can't think about this right now, I've got to take my mind off it. So I'd been in touch with my boyfriend's dad and said, I was meeting him down there with my boyfriend, and I said, oh, can you get me a bottle of Prosecco in? And this was literally a couple of weeks after I'd been told that I had unexplained infertility. And I took a pregnancy test, and unbelievably, the test was positive. I was so unbelievably excited. When you think, it's like winning the lottery, when you think there's absolutely no chance, you're at the end of the road, there's no hope. And then that happens. It was like the most incredible elation and feeling ever. But that's just, you know, that's just my story, and I do feel incredibly lucky and incredibly grateful. But like I mentioned previously, I kind of want to sort of share my journey with you to see if, like I mentioned, any of those kind of names ring true for sort of the operations you can have done, and also like the alternative therapies, because I'm a massive believer. Another thing I wanted to go down, another route I would have gone down, is Chinese medicine. Massive believer in that. Crystals, like I said, you know, trying sort of homeopathy, anything that can help. Acupuncture apparently is meant to be good as well. But I just thought sort of talking about it might be a way to sort of bring it to the surface. And if I can do that, then absolutely brilliant. There's a couple of other things. That's just briefly my sort of journey, but I'm just looking at my little notes that I've got. But there's a couple of things that I want to bring up in my future videos. So one of them is sort of the transitioning period that you go through all your different like trimesters, getting pregnant, going through to that maternity leave to birth, which obviously I'm not at yet, so I'm still a real novice with that. But I kind of want to talk about that in one of the videos. I want to talk about as well like anecdotes and kind of make you laugh from stupid stories and situations I've been through that will hopefully relate as well to you, or maybe you'll just think it's entertaining with any luck. Things people don't tell you, I talked about that before. Like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just my point of view, obviously. But if it can help anybody, then great. Also, you know, I want to talk about things that happen outside other people, what other people do, other people's perceptions. I want to talk about that as well. Even things like tips, things to do, products to use. I do shopping telly, have done shopping telly before. I want to talk about beauty tips and beauty tips I've got. Also books, you can probably see that one in the corner. Things like that, things that are really good. Podcasts, hypnobirthing, that's another thing I want to kind of cover. But that's sort of everything in a nutshell that I want to do. And I really hope I've been looking at the right side of the camera. I can't work out if I have or not all this video. But yeah, do bear with me, and I'm going to try and upload something every week if I possibly can. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed kind of the introductory video. And if you've got any comments or anything, please leave them below. I will be looking at the comments. And do, whatever you do, like it, subscribe as well, and then it will remind you when my new videos are up. But yeah, I hope that was okay for my first one anyway. It wasn't too long. Hope I didn't bore you. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.